All right, we are live. This is, I believe, lesson number 6 of the guitar routine, beginner level number 2. I'm going to wait just a second here and we will start. We've got 2 people. How's it going, everybody? We got 2 people in the house. How is it going? If you don't know who I am, my name is Joel. You can call me Joel, son of Caesar. That goes around my channel a whole bunch. And today we are doing a guitar rundown routine of the level 2 beginner guitar routine, lesson 6. So we have a whole bunch of stuff to cover today. I don't want to take too long. Let's see, beginner, level 2, lesson 6, rundown and playthrough. Also, don't forget to visit truthguitarmethod.com where you can get all the stuff that you need for this lesson, the PDF, the actual routine itself, tabs for the lesson. If you are here and it's the first time you're here, I want to welcome you. And yeah, man, I hope everybody's doing well. So we have E-Stars in the house, and Jacqueline Vega is also in the house. Thank you so much for showing up. And if you don't know what today is a guitar lesson. If you've got a guitar at home, grab your guitar. We're going to get started here in about, I don't know, 5 minutes. We're just going to let people come in. Hopefully, we have some people. There's been times when I have, up to 14, 15 people. And then there's been times when it's just been me and my camera, and it's been amazing. So, RJ's Cave is in. What's up, Joel, son of Caesar? That's me. Hello. Today I'm wearing some headphones because I'm trying out something. Um, you guys can hear me well. If you can hear me well, give me a 1 in the chat. Put a 1. That'll let me know that you can hear me. And I've got already my guitar strapped on. But today, the reason I have my headphones on is I'm actually running through my sound system. Normally, I don't do that. I just kind of whatever the camera is, right? Um, Let me know if you hear the guitar, okay? Because the guitar is coming through. I wasn't coming through last time. I usually just run from my Spark amp. I don't run through the system. So let me know if you can hear it. I'm gonna go ahead and play a chord here. Does it come out? Is it even? I hear it on my end, but do you hear it on yours? Let me know if you can hear that, if it's too loud, because I want to get started here in about 5 minutes. Hopefully, not too much. Do you guys hear it? I hear a 1. Yes, I can hear. Video 1, sound 1, guitar 1. This is perfect. Thank you so much. E-Star, RJ's Cave, and Jacqueline Vega. I hope you guys have your guitars out. If not, if you're just here to support the channel, that is awesome. And I love you for it because we are growing, man. We're growing at a steady pace. Currently, I'm getting about, I don't know, anywhere between 10 to 15 subscribers, 10 to 15 subscribers per week, which I believe is a healthy, steady pace for a beginner. And so, yeah, I'm playing Slayer, right? No, I'm not. I'm not playing Slayer, man. That's beyond my abilities, I believe. So yeah, we're not playing Slayer, but we're gonna have some fun, man. We're gonna have some fun. So hopefully, if you guys have your guitar, run through this. We're going through the last. What was it? Last week we didn't have a lesson. We had one 2 weeks ago, and 2 weeks ago it was pretty long because we did lesson 4 and lesson 5 with all the pentatonic scales, and there was some explanations that needed to be done. And so it kind of took a little longer. It went 2 hours, 2 weeks. That's lengthy. And so yeah, so today we're gonna go to lesson 6, and we're gonna get started here in about 2 minutes. If anybody else comes in here, that'd be amazing. Again, if you are interested, remember to visit truthguitarmethod.com. When I say visit, I literally just mean visit. I don't mean like go because I'm gonna make money when you go. That's absolutely not true. I don't make any money. I paid for that website, and that's where I document everything that I do. and keep track of everything that I do for a book that I'm writing, and hopefully it'll be coming out at some point in my lifetime. So, all right, so you can hear the microphone pretty well. You hear the guitar pretty well. It's very clean. There should be no effects because during the routine, there's no effects. We got to be able to listen to everything, mistakes and all. So I'm going to go ahead and switch cameras here. Let me know how the cameras look, and just give me a 1 if it looks good. Here's 1, right? Me in front with the light. Not a very nice one in the microphone. And a couple of weeks, I upgraded our internet service. So I am rocking a whole bunch of megabytes per second now. And hopefully it'll, look better. All right, we're going to start here with the guitar routine. And at the very end, we'll have a Q&A. If you have some questions or anything like that, we'll go ahead and answer. And sound check, I believe, is done. Right? Am I getting lost while I play? Can you hear both? What about if I do this? Can you hear my voice and the guitar clearly? Could you hear both? My voice. I tried making one and it went over by like a couple seconds, so it didn't allow me to do a short. So I need to retry that. But I've been watching your shorts. Very cool, man. Very, very, very cool. Guitar a little loud over the voice. See, I appreciate that. Let's take that down. Today I'm using the LTD 27 fret guitar. We're not going to get up there though. Let me know if you can't hear it once we are going live. All right. Thank you so much for the support. Let's get started. We're going to start with the left hand routine, the left hand warm up. And let's go ahead and switch up the camera here so you can see what we are doing. And if you guys see anybody come in and you guys are here, welcome them in, because I might be really, really into what I'm doing and I might not be able to catch anything. So, all righty. All right. So here we go. Let's get started with the left hand warm up. The first warm up is the finger lifts. Finger lifts are going to be on the 5th position right here. Okay. Essentially, you can do it anywhere you want, but the 5th position, in my opinion, is perfect. Frets are not too wide and frets are not too narrow. Perfect place. Finger lifts go down on the 1st string. 2nd finger goes on the 2nd string. And what you're going to do is you're just going to lift your 1st finger while the other ones stay down 10 times. And then 10 times as fast as you can. Whatever that means. Then you go ahead and put that down. 2nd finger, 2nd string. The other finger stayed down, perfectly low, and then as fast as you can. Perfect. You bring it down. 3rd finger. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10. As fast as you can. Whatever that means. Wildly. And then put it down. And 4th finger, pinky, 10 times slow. Then as fast as you can. There we go. And that was finger lifts. That's on the 1st and the 2nd string. Now you can do that on any string in any position that you want, but in my opinion, the 5th position is the very best place to do it. And we got finger swaps, which is basically the exact same thing, except the fingers will be switching from one to the other like this. So finger swaps, here we go. We're going to do 1 and 2 first. And then the pattern goes 2 and 3, and then 3 and 4, and then 1 and 3, and then 2 and 4, and then 1 and 4 back and forth. And what this is doing is, yes, it's warming you up, but it is also getting your finger dexterity. It's giving you that power to have that finger dexterity. So here we go. Ready? 1 and 2 first, back and forth. Ready, set, ready, go. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 2 and 3, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's giving your fingers the ability to think independently. 3 and 4. This one's always weird for me, even as an advanced player. Always weird. Very good. 1 and 3. Back and forth from the first to the second string. Back and forth, back and forth. And then 2 and 4, which is always weird. But this is good for the muscle. The muscle will learn to obey your command. You should start to feel some like heating up in your hand. That's normal. That means the muscles are working. Something I haven't done before is we have not stretched our hands, which is something we should be doing. You know what else I forgot, man? I forgot today. I forgot to start with prayer. That's terrible. I'm going to stop for just a second. Let's go ahead and just pray, man, because that's part of my channel. Is Truth Guitar Method. We are based off of something that we believe, and that is Christ alone, and you know, only He is the one that matters. So, real quick prayer. Thank you, Father, for everything that you have done for us. Lord, we ask that you be with us today, and we ask that you allow us to go through this guitar routine, and that we can better our fingers and better our playing. And Lord, just help us as we go through the guitar playing, and you know, as we go through those hurdles of the difficulties of playing. We ask that you unravel our fingers and that you give us the dexterity that we need to be able to play wherever we are and wherever we may be. In your name we pray, and in your name we play. Thank you, Jesus. All right. I apologize. I forgot to pray. So we've done fingerless, finger swaps, but we are still in the left-hand warm-up. We're going to do slurs. And in the guitar level, for level 2, at lesson 6, we're still only doing hammer-ons. So we're doing 1 and 2 on the 5th position. You can quiet your other strings if you want to. I'm doing that with my thumb here, not my tongue. And then as fast as you can. 1 and 3. As fast as you can. Just tapping, it's not a pulling. If you already understand what pull-offs are, remember, we're not working on pull-offs right now. You can do that definitely on your own. But as part of the guitar routine level 2, we're just working on the hammering down. 1 and 4. 6, 7, 8, 9. Good. 2 and 3. Now, first finger and fourth finger should be close to the fretboard. They should not be doing this. That implies tension. So 2 and 3. And then 2 and 4. And again, we're just working on the hammering down. No pull-offs yet. There we go, man. All right, so that is fingerless, finger swaps, and slurs. You should start to feel your oof. Oh, I shouldn't be doing this. I have a little bit of arthritis in the hand. But by the blood of Jesus, I am healed. So, sliding. We're going to do sliding now, octaves, and we're only really going from C to C. You are going to be using your right hand for this. So if you're playing electric, you use your pick. If you're playing acoustic, you use your pick. If you're playing classical, then you can use I and M, whichever one you want there. And whatever you're doing, you're just plucking. We're not really working on the technique on the right hand. We're just playing, sliding, playing. Now there's 2 types of slides. We've talked about this. There's the very quiet slide where you play, you lift, but your finger stays on the string and slides over, lands, and plays. My hand doesn't come off of the fretboard, or it does come off of the fretboard, but it stays on the string. And I'm feeling that string as I'm moving back and forth. And the other one is the glissando. And glissando means when your finger stays on the fretboard, and you can kind of hear all those passing notes as we slide. Okay, so let's do the first finger, second, third, and fourth. And I have discovered this week that there is some music that uses the fourth finger for sliding. Very, very important. There's the 3, 3, 3. There's 2. So we definitely use a lot of fingers for sliding. But at some point, right, that's sliding. Always a part of guitar playing. So sliding octaves. Here we go. Glissando. Second finger, C to C, fret 5 to fret 17. Glissando. Okay, third finger. Glissando. Pinky. Glissando. Okay, so that's definitely something you want to be practicing. Now, we are practicing going from 5 all the way to 17, but you can practice short slides. However you want. I mean, you don't really have to, have me or any other guitar teachers. Really just you understand the slide, pick your starting point, pick your ending point, and then slide to it. Right? You don't really need a whole teacher and guitar lesson or anything to be able to do that. Once you understand sliding, you pick your starting point, your ending point, and then you visualize and attack like the water boy. Ascending and descending. If you are here, I see there's one person. Thank you so much for sticking around. I can imagine who that person is. Thank you so much for sticking around. Just give me a 1 just to let me know that it sounds good. Por favor. Muchas gracias. Please. Thank you. Then we have ascending and descending. And that is basically where my hand is going to start on the first position all the way to the 12th, or you can go farther. And all you're doing is you're just going 1, 2, 3, 4. And then second position, 1, 2, 3, 4. Third position, fourth position, fifth position, 6th, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Thank you so much for that 1 E-star. I really appreciate it. So yeah, so as you're playing, don't do it mindlessly. Just don't do that. You want to focus on the movement of each finger. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? Make sure that you come down with enough force that every finger is equal. Once you did it on the first string, right, we do descending, and descending is the same thing. 4, 3, 2, 1. Now you're not going to hear 3, 2, 1 because 4 is still down. So 4, 3, 2, 1, 4. If you want to lift your fingers as it's going, that's fine, but be very careful you're not doing this wave thing as you move back, because then you start to get caught up with that motion, right? And you're no longer focusing on the muscle. So 4, 3, 2, 1, 4, 2, 1, 4, 3. Nothing like that's not what I meant, right? You want to be focused on the muscle as you move. 1, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now we did the first string, and I believe the last couple of weeks we did the second, the third. So today I'm going to do the fourth string, and you'll notice as you go to the lower string, the resistance is much, much higher. So you really, 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 really want to focus on that motion. You're going to feel the string kind of fighting you back, right? It's going to be pushing against you. And you can do this with a metronome if you want to, definitely. But we're just warming the left hand, warming up the left hand. All right, so that's the left hand. That was about 10 minutes. And the recommended time is 5 to 10 minutes. So that is perfect. Again, if you are brand new to the channel and you're watching this on replay, I want to thank you so much for clicking on this video. My calling is, to basically work on guitar routines for any beginner or person trying to reestablish their ability to play guitar, man. That's my focus. We don't really focus on shredding here or anything like that, although that stuff is fun. And sometimes you might catch one or two videos that are shreddy, but not very, very shreddy, and super fun. I also want to remind you that you can get tabs for everything that we're doing at truthguitarmethod.com. And there's a free stuff tab on the top. When you click there, there's a whole bunch of PDFs that you can download. So if you're watching this on replay, go do that. Get all the stuff that you need, download it, print it out or whatever. Put it on your iPad, put it on your Microsoft Go, whatever it is that you're doing, and then play along. Okay. Now, what I do want to mention, and I don't want to make this about that, is I just started a Patreon page. If you want extra stuff, like extra stuff that will help you out with your guitar playing, you're going to want to start following on Patreon, because there I am uploading a Patreon version of everything that we do. Now, not the past documents that we've done, but new documents that we're doing. New PDFs are going to Patreon with a Patreon version. It's extended, it's extra exercises and all this other stuff. Okay, so that's pretty much it. Let's do the right hand warm up. Shreddy. Yeah, shreddy. Just a little bit, not too much. Right? Not too much. I'm not very shreddy. Okay, so right hand alternating, no repeats, all strings. Now, if you are a super beginner, you want to play this. I'm going to go ahead and mute my strings just by holding them down. You want to do everything downwards on each string and get used to that feeling of plucking downwards. I don't know if you can see my hand here, but my pinky's kind of touching the body of the guitar. It's just kind of holding on for dear life as we play. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, down, 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 down. That's only if you're a straight up beginner, okay? If you are not a straight up beginner, sorry, my cables, and you also want to do up. But if you're already used to those feelings and you just want to start right from the right hand warm up, which is alternating, no repeats, all strings. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Four times each. Now I'm muting my strings, but you don't have to. Actually, I recommend that you don't. 4 times each. Down, up, down, up. Now, I'm going to stop there because I want to explain something. If you are following me and your goal is not to be an electric guitar player, but a classical guitar player, instead of going up and down, what you're going to be switching between is your I finger and your M finger, your index and your middle, right? In classical guitar, we have P for pulsating finger, I for index, M for middle, and A for adjacent. P, I, M, A. And the pinky, call it chico, is for the rasgueados, right? For that strumming. Okay. So if you're doing this exercise, you're going to be going with your thumb. It's going to kind of drag across as you're going. And you don't want to go perfectly perpendicular, because then you create this arm claw thing. We don't really want to do that. We want to keep it kind of angled, right? Kind of popped over. And so we're doing I, M, and we want to do that rest stroke. And that's if you're doing classical guitar, okay? And for the rest of you, we're using a pick. Wow, I hit my microphone. That was super loud. All right, so alternating bursts now. Basically the exact same thing, except now we are bursting. We are trying to burst through and make it a little faster, right? A little bit more challenging. So we're gonna go whatever the speed is here. You're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And if you have trouble counting, words, counting numbers. I'm sorry, I apologize. And you want to use words, something with one syllable and then something with two syllables. For example, eat, 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 and then two syllables, pizza, 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 pizza. So we would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and second string, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. If you're classical, we're looking at I am, 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 I am. If you're picking, then we're looking at down, up, 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 down, up. Okay. And then we move on to the strumming in the right hand. And basically that's just to let your hand, your wrist kind of get loose and get ready for the guitar playing. For this one, whether I'm online or practicing, I always cover my strings. This gets really loud because you don't want to do this softly. You want your hand to get used to playing through the strings. And so the only pattern that I've given so far for the beginner level 2 is down, 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 up, 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 down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. It's basically what we did just now. Down, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, but with strumming. And so you'll do that 4 times. This is the second time here. Down, 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 up, 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 down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Again, ready, go. Down, 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 up, 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 down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. And then again, ready, set, ready, go. Down, 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 up, 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 down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. And then that's pretty much it for the strumming. Now, if you are playing a song, whatever song you decided to do that particular week, if it's got a strumming pattern, I would say throw in that pattern on the right hand without actually playing any chords, and then do the pattern, right? Whatever that pattern may be. If it was like, whatever the pattern is, throw it in here and get your hand warmed up before you actually get to the piece of music that you're actually doing and having to play. All right, so then we have beginner arpeggio exercise. And no, this is not sweeping arpeggios, although tomorrow's lesson, Sunday, I don't know what lesson when it's gonna come out. Sunday or Monday, we've got beginner simple arpeggios, and that is focused on sweeping arpeggios. And the reason I'm giving it to beginners, it's because, guys, most beginners are like, I want to sweep, I want to be Yngwie Malmsteen, I want to be John Petrucci, I want to be Joe Satriani. Everybody wants to be the fast guys, so might as well just start training the hands now that you're a beginner. So don't miss that lesson. That is beginning patterns for sweeping, right? How to move the right hand, right? And it'll be patterned, right? Not as difficult as that, but simple patterns on 2 strings, 3 strings. Okay, so don't miss that lesson. All right, so beginner arpeggio exercises. Arpeggio means broken chord. Okay, it does not mean shreddy. It does not mean sweeping. It does not mean amazing guitar shred god. It doesn't mean that. It means broken chord. Okay, a lot of people get that confused. They're like, well, if you don't know how to arpeggio, then you're not a guitar player. Well, that's not true. Okay, so arpeggio here, the way we're going to do is we're going to go 6, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3. So 6, 3, 2, 1. Now without my hand covering, it is 6, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, and I'm going down, 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 up, up, up. And I think everybody kind of recognizes this, right? As the Metallica song, Nothing Else Matters. But we're just working on the arpeggios. Once you do 6, you're going to jump to 5, then you jump to 4, then you jump back to 5, and you jump back to 6. So it ends up sounding something like this. Oh, 6, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 5, 4, 5. Sorry, I had something happened on my other screen. I had to move my hand. I was not able to play through everything. Okay, so if you're doing arpeggio, if you're doing the arpeggio exercise and you're doing classical, something you need to keep in mind is your thumb has to always stay in front of these fingers. It cannot stay behind, because if you're playing this way, right, and your thumb goes behind your fingers, now your thumb has to do extra work to get out of that spot and then come back and play. So really what you want to do is, if you're doing classical, when you're playing that bass note, the 6, the 5, and the 4, you need to kind of aim for this knuckle as you're playing, right? So this knuckle is here. So when you aim here, and now your thumb stays outside and doesn't have to do any extra work of getting out and having to play. So you're still doing 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and it looks like this if you're classical guitar. You're doing, let's see, right there's a good angle. So we're doing 6, 3, 2, 1, 2, 1, 5, 3, 2, 1. And you're not doing rest stroke, okay, for arpeggio. You're doing free stroke, which means you do not touch any of the other strings. 6, 3. Okay, so again, the thumb, you need to aim it for that knuckle right there, that knuckle. All right. I still see one person. This is good, man. I don't care if there's one person, 50 people, or 100 people. I feel in my element. But if you are present, can you just let me know that everything is coming out well, just by putting a 1 in there. Just put a 1. Let me know that the sound is good, my voice is good, the guitar is good, because people are watching this on replay. I want it to be decent, right? I want it to be good. All right, and then the warm-up for the right hand is economy picking. That is one of the new techniques that we learned as a beginner. So what's going to happen here, rather than keeping a pattern of 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, the pattern is now 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Except with alternate picking, we're doing down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Thank you, E-Star. Down, up, down, up. Down, up, down, up, right? And so we're having to readjust every single time that we switch strings. That's alternating. For economy picking, we are not doing any of that. What we're doing is, thank you so much, E-Star. I appreciate that so much. Thank you for sticking around and hanging out and making me feel like I'm worth it. Thank you so much. So here's what we're doing is we're going down, up, down, but now we don't have to readjust anything because our hand is already there ready to attack the next string. So let me see here. Let me see if I can get a better angle. So we're doing here, down, up, down. Now my pick is ready. Down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down. Yeah. Now, instead of like the alternating, we did 1, 2, 3, 4, and we went from the first string to the sixth string and back to the first. For the economy picking, for me, it feels more natural if I start with the sixth string with the low note. You do not have to do that, but you do have to be aware of the pattern that you're doing. So I'm going to go from the sixth string to the first, and I'm doing down, up, down, 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 and so on. Once I get to the first string and I come back up, I need to change direction of my pattern. Now it's up, down, up, right? I don't want to do down, up, down, because then that defeats the purpose. I have to readjust every single string. And the goal with economy picking is not having to readjust. not having to do the extra work. Hence, economy picking. All right, so we've got down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, up. Now, if you've been following me, you know that economy picking is something I just most recently discovered, maybe about a year ago. I did not know that this existed because I was always used to just playing with my I&M finger and just kind of playing whatever I was playing that week at church for worship or for whatever it was that I was doing. So I was not aware of economy picking until maybe about a year, maybe a year and a half ago. And I actually I did not start to include it in my own playing until very recently. And I'm talking about maybe a couple of months. So I'm still not super good. So as we're learning this together, right? So we're going to go at a slower tempo. I'm not turning on the metronome, but nice and slow. 1, 2, 3, go. And down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down. Up, down, up, down, up. Right? And you do want to speed it up as you get better. All right. So that's the right hand warm up. If you are new to the channel, like I've said before, and you are still here and you're watching, you made it this far, I want to appreciate it, man, because today we've had a couple of visitors, which is amazing. We've had RJ's Cave, we've had Jacqueline Vega, we've had E-Star come in, which is all great and fine and dandy. But sometimes people have stuff to do, man, on Saturday. Saturday is family time. And I totally get it, you know. So we've done the left hand warm up and the right hand warm up, and now we are moving on to the sinking hand warm up. If you are new and you've made it this far and you are brand new to Truth Guitar Method, I want to let you know that on Saturdays, not every Saturday, but on Saturdays when we do have a lesson, basically you grab your guitar and you play along with me and check that the exercises that you're doing are matching up with what I'm doing in order to improve your guitar playing. All right, so now we've got our warm up, our sinking hands is what we are doing. Now, we've warmed up the left hand, we've warmed up the right hand. Something that you guys need to know if you're brand new to the channel is the Truth Guitar Method is based upon something that's called the additive process, right? And everything that we do, we work on something and then we add to it. So what we did right now in our warm-up, we warmed up the left hand and now we're adding to it by warming up our right hand. Now that our both hands are working well and ready to work together, now we sync our hands. And this portion of the lesson is where most guitar players have the most difficulty playing in syncing your picking hand with your fretting hand or syncing your PIMA fingers with your fretting hand. It is always the most difficult. We can all do it well at a slow speed, I think. But the moment you start speeding up, that's when the problem happens. That's when we start to get stuck. That's when we start to crash or flail about and not able to play. So something that you have to consider is speed and always being aware that you have to increase. You have to add a little bit of speed almost on a daily basis. If you grab the guitar 2 or 3 times a day, which is highly recommended, if you grab your guitar 2 or 3 times a day, then you definitely want to be practicing different speeds because you want your hands to be able to communicate and sync together so that you can play really clean, because we can all play clean at a slow. But the moment we start to speed up, that's when we crash. So we have the sinking hand warm up, and the first exercise that we have is the fret ascending and descending in the 5th position on the 3rd string. Okay, now this exercise is very easy. All we're doing is we're taking what we did on the 1st string, 1, 2, 3, 4, right, and 4, 3, 2, 1, which was that warm up. Okay, and we're taking that, and what we're doing is we are applying it to the 3rd string and basically doing this thing here. But now we're including the right hand and we're communicating that motion. So what I recommend is doing everything in 4s, 3s, 2s, and 1s. So here's the exercise in full. I'm going to play everything 4 times. and then everything 3, and then everything 2, and then everything 1. Okay, so here we go. And we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. Ready, steady, ready, go. And 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And 1, 2, 3, 4. And 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Kind of spit up there by accident. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 2. Then by twos. 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Man, a couple times I wanted to speed up because I'm used to doing it a little bit quicker, but again, everything is 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and then 1. And you definitely want to do this with the metronome and do it at different speeds. All right, then we have for sinking hands is adjacent finger exercise, and that is the 5th position, all strings, including hammer-ons. And that is an exercise that we have already done. This is a lengthy one. So now we're taking what we had done on the left hand, right? That hammering on and that swapping pattern. And now we're applying it and going across the strings from the 1st to the 6th. And this hand needs to communicate as you're moving. Okay, so we're going to do it once first with no hammer-ons, just regular playing 1, 2, 1, 2, and then we're going to do the hammer-ons, okay, where it's... Okay, now once you're done with this, you can move it around to different positions if you'd like. We're just going to do the one in the interest of time, right, to make sure that we use our time wisely here as we're going live. So 5th position, 1st string, we're going to do the pattern 1, 2, and then 2, 2, 3 combination, and then 3, 4 combination, then 1, 3 combination, then 2, 4 combo, and then 1, 4 combo. And that allows for syncing your hands. All right, here we go. Ready? Adjacent finger exercise, 5th position, and then we'll do the hammer-ons. 1, 2, 3. You know what? Let's do this with the metronome. I think it would be good. I think I'm going to do everything at 100. If 100 is too fast for you, do it at 60 on your own time. But with me right now, if you are on replay, try it at 100. See if you can do it. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Ready, go. And... thought of something. I hope the metronome is lining up with my playing, since the metronome is not in the Focusrite. If anybody's here, can you just let me know that it's lining up? So I'm going to look silly if it does not line up. People will say, that guy from Truth Guitar Method, he's a dummy. He doesn't know how to play with the metronome. But I promise, I'm playing with the metronome. I just hope it's lining up. And now 2, 4. 1, 2, 4, 2, 4. And then 1, 4. Once you're done there, you're done. And then you can move it anywhere. You can go super high. Okay. Or super low. And so on. Okay. So after you're done with that, you're going to do the exact same thing, but this time just the hammer-ons, no pull-offs. So you're just going to hammer on the second note. So on the right hand, you can either do alternating, right? Down, up, down, up, down, up. It is lining up, E star, it's lining up, or it's not lining up. So here we go. So it would be 1, hammer, 2, hammer, 3, hammer, and so on with the metronome. And you can either do everything down or everything up. I don't recommend up. Or alternate, down on the first string, up on the second, down on the third, up on the 4th, and so on. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. With the hammer, ready, go. And thank you, E-Star. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Thank you for sticking around. So we have the adjacent finger exercise and the fret ascending. That is the sinking hands. So now what we're going to do is we're going to do the semi-chromatic burst. Now, this is the one exercise that we talked about in the lessons. I don't recall which lesson it was. I think it was lesson 2 where we were talking about finger confusion, right? And finger confusion is a healthy thing to practice because it forces your fingers to have to listen to you. Sometimes fingers, they just go with whatever the muscle memory is doing. And that's not what you want. What you want is for them to listen to you as you play. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, and then double time, and then slow. And then we're going to change the pattern, and we'll do, I'll pick a different pattern today. I think the pattern we did last time was 1, 1, 3, 2, 4. So today we'll do 1, 4, 3, 2. How about that? 1, 4, 3, 2. Whatever the combination is, there's 4 fingers, so the combination is kind of endless, right? Or not really. I don't know math, but you can do a whole bunch of different ones. All right, here we go. Ready? Regular one. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then double time. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ready, steady, ready, go. And if you're doing classical, remember it's I and M. And for this exercise, you want to do both rest stroke and free stroke. That's it. We're done. So now let's do the next pattern, which today we're doing 1, 4, 3, 2. So the same idea, 2 times slow, 2 times fast, every 2 strings, right? Except now the pattern is a little bit different. So here we go. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, ready, go. And oh. Wow, what happened there, Joel? Thought you were a guitar teacher. All right, we're going to do that again. I don't know. I started thinking of where I needed to go next. What was the next exercise? And that proves right there, man, if you're not focused on what you are doing, if you're not focused on the actual guitar playing, you will crash and you will burn. Okay, so don't do that. I'm going to go ahead and do it again, but this time I'm going to do it focused. Here we go. 1, 2, ready, go. And there you go. And sinking hands, strumming and muting. I don't recall why I put strumming in the sinking hands. Because technically we already did that. We did it in the right hand. I think it's not supposed to be on the right hand. I think it's supposed to be here. So kudos. We've already done one of the exercises, the strumming. Strumming actually goes in the sinking hands. Man, I got to get online and switch that because that is incorrect. So the next thing in line, we've got scale practice. So today we are doing all the scales, every single scale that we know. We know the chromatic scale. We have one major octave pattern that we know. We have one minor octave pattern that we know, and then we have the 5 pentatonic shapes. So that's what we are doing right now. We are now on scale practice. So the first one we're going to do is we're going to do the chromatic scale. Again, I want to remind you, if you are new to the channel or you are visiting this live, I want to welcome you. All this live is we are running through some exercises, running through a guitar routine. If you have the time, grab your guitar, join us, and just play along. Also, if you need the PDFs to these lessons, you can go to truthguitarmethod.com. There's a free section, free tab on the top. You can grab that, download them to your iPad, your phone, to whatever it is you're using, or print them out and use them on Saturdays when we do these live sessions. Okay. I don't get anything from it if you visit Truth Guitar. I just get data, how many people have downloaded and all that stuff. All right, so let's do the scales. We're going to start with the chromatic scale first. The chromatic scale. Here we go. Ready? So chromatic scale takes place on the first position, and we go backwards. 4, 3, 2, 1, open. 4, 3, 2, 1, open. On the third string, we can't go 4, 3, 2, 1, open because 4 is B, which is the name of the second string. So we would be redundant there, or redundant because of the B. And then the fourth string, 4. Fifth string, 4 fingers. Fifth string, sixth string, 4 fingers. And then backwards. Okay, here we go. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Real quick, I just want to say something. If you are not very good at the chromatic scale, do it by 4s, by 3s, by 2s, by 1s. It's lengthy, but you'll benefit from it. In other words, do this. Each note 4 times. Right? And then each note 3 times. And then each note 2 times. And then each note 1 time. Of course, I'm saying the entire thing, not like me that I started switching every other string. So we are not going to go by 4s, 3, 2s, and 1s. That is just recommended if you are struggling to do the chromatic scale. If you're not, just do this with me. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ready, steady, ready, go. And if you're doing classical, remember I and M. No repeating fingers. Just like if we were doing alternate picking, no repeating fingers. No repeating picking. Okay, and if you want to, I would definitely push you to go a little faster. Something that my director did, and we always do this when we do the live, is my director taught me to push every single time the chromatic scale was played. So every couple of strings, we'd increase the speed a little bit until we crashed. So I'm going to do that now, and I'm probably going to crash pretty quickly here, but let's see. So 1, 2. And then increase the speed a little bit. And then increase again. And then again. And then again. 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 And then it starts to fall apart. And that's because of the work that we are doing and not doing, right? So we always want to practice our speed. And this is why I'm running everything clean. So if you've made it this far, why doesn't he just put a little bit of delay on it or distortion? The thing is, I want to hear the clarity of each note when I play it, even if I mess up like I just did there, okay? Once we've done that, we are doing the pentatonic patterns, the pentatonic shapes. We're going to go ahead and do the pentatonic shapes first. So we got the first shape is the pentatonic pattern C shape, where we have our C shaped chord. So wherever you take this chord, right, that's your root right there. And the pattern here, I'm going to go ahead and start with the 6th string. I'm going to go ahead and go, let's go to the 5th position. I'm going to do all of them on the 5th position. So in reality, I'm playing F, F pentatonic. F pentatonic shape or C pentatonic shape, and we're doing F pentatonic. So the first pattern, and again, you want to do this by 4s, 3s, 2s, and then 1s, or just play through it. I would do by 4s, 1, 2, 3, 4, because doing it by 4s kind of reinforces every single note that you need to play. For the pentatonic shape C. And then backwards, right? Now this is if you're just learning it, you definitely want to do it this way, where it's a lot of repetition per note. So you can memorize where each part goes. If you need those pentatonic shapes, you can go to truthguitarmethod.com. There is a page there, a PDF for free called Pentatonic Shapes, and then you do it by 3s. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 1, 2. I recommend alternating, but if you're struggling with alternating your pick, then I recommend doing everything down first and then everything up, so that you can get used to playing in both directions. And then everything by 2s, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And again, this is just to learn the actual shape itself. Repetition reinforces. And then by 1s. And there's your C pentatonic shape. And we did F major pentatonic. The next shape is the A shape pentatonic, and the A shape pentatonic, just like that, is let me see here. Right here, we're going to do it on the 5th position, right? So the 5th position, we've got, let me see, I think it's, yeah, that's the A shape. There it is. And the A is right here, okay? And my what do you call it? My root note right here. And if we think about it, we've got G, A, B, C, D, D sharp. So we're doing D sharp pentatonic. So D sharp pentatonic, 5th position, is going to be 2, 4, 2, 4, 1, 4, 1, 4, 2, 4, 2, 4. You do everything 4 times, 3 times, 2 times, 1 time to increase your ability to remember the actual pentatonic pattern, which is the A-shaped pentatonic pattern. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4. You want to do this with a metronome. That's recommended. I'm not doing it with a metronome at the moment, but definitely with a metronome, especially if you're struggling to sync your hands together. Everything 4 times. And then everything 3 times. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. There you go. 3, 1, 2, 3. I think I played 4 on that one. That's okay. And by the way, what a great opportunity right now to practice the economy picking. And then 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Whoop. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And then 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. And that's your A shape pentatonic pattern. Then after that, we're going to go to the most popular one. At least that's the first one I ever learned. And then when I discovered, oh my goodness, there's more shapes. We have the G-shaped pentatonic pattern. G-shaped pentatonic pattern is the most popular. It's a 1 4, 1 3, 1 3, 1 3, 1 4, 1 4. And again, you want to do that by 4s, 3s, 2s, and then by 1s, especially if you're having trouble memorizing the patterns. So the pattern here goes, give me 1 second. It goes 4 times, 3, 2, and then 1. Here we go. So you know what? I preach about metronomes, right? So let's do the metronome. That's 100 beats per minute. If you've got your guitar, play with me, join me. And here we go. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1. 3, 4. Right now what we're doing is we're doing the scale practice in our routine. Try to stay super focused. I'm trying to stay super focused and trying to communicate to you guys. There it is. 4 times each, so that you learn the pattern properly. And then after we do the 4, we immediately jump into 3. 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then immediately into 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Wanted to improvise there for a second. 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And again, what a great opportunity to practice economy picking. 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Although every time we switch notes, because there's 2, kind of defeats the purpose a little bit. 1, 2, 3. And then instantly into 2. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. This is the G-shaped pentatonic pattern. When you're playing, though, very important is that as you're playing, every single note needs to be as even as possible. In other words, not like, right? You don't want that unevenness. And then straight into 1. And I did that double time, but at 100 it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, and everything even. That's the hard part, right? Not doing this. That's telling you, if you're uneven, if it's sounding uneven, that's telling you that either your downstroke is stronger and your upstroke is weaker, which is usually the case, or your upstroke is stronger and your downstroke is weaker, which is very rare in my opinion. Then we go to the third shape pentatonic pattern. Right now we are in the scale practice in our patterns. The Pistol 777. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate that. Great job, my friend. He says, thank you so much. I very much appreciate that. Thank you so much. Thank you for coming by. And hopefully you hang out and do our routine with us. I have to do this because it's part of my routine. Of course, on Saturdays I do the long version, which is what we're doing right now. We're at an hour and 6 minutes. We're almost done, but we are at the scale practice and we are on the E shape pattern, and we're doing every single pattern by fours, threes, twos, and then ones. If you are new to the channel and you have never been here before, Truth Guitar Method is based on the additive process where we take one thing and we add to it, and that is how we build upon. So if you missed the beginning part of the lesson here, we warmed up our left hand, and then we added the right hand warm up, and then we added the sinking hand warm up, and then currently we are on our scale practice. And guitar routines are super important to do, especially before you're actually practicing the music that you are wanting to do, for fun or for worship at church, or because you have a band, or because, I don't know, they said so. I don't know. You're welcome, man. I'm glad you're here. The Pistol 777. Thank you so much. And E Star has been hanging out since the very beginning, and very much appreciate that. If you are just joining me, we are at our scale practice. Remember, if you want to join our Saturday lessons, which is what we're doing right now. Right now we are on our E-shaped pentatonic pattern. We're about to keep going, but I noticed that there's a few people who came in, so I just want to welcome you. And if you want to take part in what I'm doing right now, all you got to do is grab your guitar and play with me. It is building your guitar playability, okay? And if you go to truthguitarmethod.com, you can download all the stuff for free, man. Completely free. I don't get anything of it. There's no ads, no nothing like that. It's just, I have a passion for teaching beginners how to do things properly. Unlike me, that I did not do things properly. It took me forever to get to where I am right now. All right, so now we've got the E-shaped pattern. And the E-shaped pattern is, we're doing right now everything in the fifth position. So the E-shaped pattern is 2-4, 1-4, 1-4, 1-3, 2-4, and then 2-4. And that's the E-shaped pattern. All right, so we're gonna do everything by fours, threes, twos, and then ones. Again, if you have your guitar, grab your guitar, play along with me. Let's get better at guitar, man. Let's show the world. All right, here we go. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, ready, go. And 1, 2, 3. And again, if you're doing this with classical guitar, you're not using a pick, obviously. You are alternating between I and M. Rest stroke. It doesn't hurt to practice free stroke as well, but rest stroke is where it's at. Rest stroke is where it's going to teach you, or teach your fingers, muscle strengthening. Everything by fours. This is the E-shaped pentatonic pattern. And then everything by threes, immediately go into it. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. We're doing everything at 100 beats per minute right now. If this is too fast, attempt it with me anyway. But then on your own, in your own practice, do it at a speed you're comfortable with. 60 beats per minute, 80 beats per minute. I think I did an extra beat there for talking. Focus, Joel. Focus. And then straight into two beats. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. In everything that we're doing, we definitely want to push our speed. Right now we're doing it at 100 because it's comfortable. And I'm assuming you've got your guitar, so if we were together in a room, this would be a group setting. We all need to be playing together, right? And then straight into 1. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Tell you what, when you finish here, push for double time. See if you can do it. Okay, that's the scale practice. That's the E-shaped pentatonic pattern. And the last pentatonic shape, the last pentatonic pattern is the D-shaped pentatonic pattern. Currently, it is one of my favorites because it is the D-shaped pentatonic pattern is in one of the pieces of music that I'm playing, which will be coming soon to our channel. It is a very hard piece, so I am really working hard on it. But the pattern goes here, it's fifth position, and it is 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, and then you're going to extend out of the position into the fourth. And you can keep 1, 3 as well, because you're just extending, and then you're going to go back, but now extend to 4, and then 1, 3 again. So it looks. All right. So everything by 4s, then 3s, then 2s, and then 1s. Here we go. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, ready, go. And 1, 2, 3, 4. When you get back to the bottom, you immediately go into 3. One, two, three. 1, 2, 3. Instantly into 3. And then instantly into 2. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And you're doing this because you're trying to learn the correct way to play the pentatonic shapes. And memorization of each note is important. But if you already got it, you can skip the 4s and the 3s and the 2s and just go straight into 1, which is what I'm about to do here as we finish it up. 1, 2, 1, 2, straight. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. And this time when you finish the whole scale, push yourself to go double time. Even if you mess up, push yourself to speed up. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. That's it. Okay, so that's the D-shaped pentatonic pattern. So we just did all pentatonic shapes, man. That was a scale workout for sure. And then we have our major scale and our minor scale. Today's major scale, we're going to do a major scale. And again, that pattern on the low strings is 1, 1, 2, 4, fret 5, 7, 9. Fifth string, same thing. And then the next string is 1 and 2, finger 1 and 2, fret 6 and 7. So here's what we've got. One octave. If we were going to continue the octave in the major scale, it would be 1, 2, 4, 1, 2, 4, 1, 2, 4, 1, 2, 4, fret 6, 7, 9, and then fret 7, 9, 10, 7, 9, 10. That's 3 notes per string. So what we're looking at is 1, 2, 3. If we were doing economy picking, it'd be down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down. Right? And then returning, you got to change the pattern. Oh. Okay, and I'm still working on my economy picking because it's something that I just most recently learned about a year ago, and I just started applying it most recently. So let's do the pattern. But instead of doing 4, 3, 2, 1, we're just going to go once. But at home, definitely do 4, 3, 2, 1. And I'm doing this for the interest of time. Here we go. Ready? 1, 2. Let's go at 100 beats per minute. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Ready, go. And very good. And then the minor pattern, I'm going to do A minor as well. And A minor is 5, 7, 8, 5, 7, 8, 5, 7, 9, 5, 7, 9, 6, 8, 10, 7, 8, 10. Okay, and we can do that at 100 beats per minute. Here we go. Ready? 1, 2, ready, go. 5, 7, 10, 9, 5, 7, 9, 6, 8, 10, 8, 10. There we go. 9, 7, 5, 8, 7, 5, 8, 7, 5. Double time. Bum, bum. Whoa. Economy picking. So there's different ways to do different things to attack different techniques. That scale pattern, I did it slow, I did it fast, I did it in threes, and then I did it by economy picking. So everything that you do, try to think in how can I apply other things that we've done with the left hand, other things that we've done with the right hand to the stuff that I'm learning right now. The scale practice is definitely the most lengthy portion of our routine. Now, the second half of our routine here on Saturdays, we don't do so much because it's kind of the stuff that you're doing at home right now, right? So the chord practice in your guitar routine, if you're looking at the guitar routine that I'm looking at, right, and you can download this page if you go to truthguitarmethod.com. It is free. I don't get anything. There's no ads or anything like that. There's a free stuff tab up on top of the Truth Guitar Method. You go there, right? Download the Guitar Routine Beginner Level 2, week 1 through 10. And you're going to see that we did the left hand warm-up, the right hand warm-up, the sinking hands. Shut up, metronome. And then the sinking hands. And then we did the scale portion, which is 10 to 20 minutes. It's definitely the lengthiest. And I think here right now we did it even longer. That's because of all my yapping, right? But the chord portion, what it recommends, I'm going to read it to you here, but I'm going to share my screen really quickly. So if you are on here, let's see, it says screen sharing. Yes, I understand that, but I'm a teacher and I always work with this thing, and I'm going to share the audio. And here we go. So we are going to go to truthguitarmethod.com. Okay. And basically what I want to show you is if you go to free stuff here, right? This is exactly what I'm looking at just to make sure that I have you guys. There's all this free stuff, man, all this stuff, all these things that I've created for the beginner guitar player to map out your guitar playing. Here's basically what you're downloading. Now, you're not like this is your first time doing this. If you're the first time hanging out here, if you grab this routine, you're not responsible for doing all of this at week 1. This is the recommended at week 10 Currently, we're at week 6, and the reason you're here is so that I can guide you through what we are doing right now. On the left-hand side, we have completed. I don't think there's anything left except for the where is it? Where is it? The slurs, the pull-offs. That's something we have not done yet, but we are going to be doing pretty soon in a lesson. So the chord portion is what I want to explain, okay? Because right now we're really not going to go through any chords because I'm not teaching you chords. The recommended here is that you learn your basic natural, major, and minor chords and you memorize them. And if you're wondering, well, Joel, what is the basic natural, major, and minor chords? All right, so you take every note, every letter in the musical alphabet, which is C, D, E, F, G, A, B, right? And so you play each major version of those chords. Let me see if I can, there we go. So if I were doing, hang on, let me hide, remove, there we go. So if I were doing C major, right? So what I'm saying is for the chord portion of your guitar routine is you need to be familiarized with the major and minor chords, all right? I have run into advanced guitar players who don't know chord names. And they're amazing guitar players, man. Like, how do you not know? I just don't understand that. How do you not know chord names? I'm not like bashing them or anything like that. I'm just saying, how do you get so far in guitar playing, but you don't know chord names? Maybe they know shapes, right? I don't know. But what I'm saying is in the guitar routine, you want to familiarize yourself with the major chords, which is C major, D major, E major, F major, G major, A major, and B major. And you also want to familiarize with yourself with playing those chords in different ways, right? So like, for example, we have C major here, but we also have C major here, and we also have C major here, right? We have all those different versions, and we even have C major here. So if you familiarize with all those regular chords, that is something that I think is crucial for a beginner, because as you start to want to play other songs or stuff like that, right? But you struggle with like tab reading. You know, if you go to ultimateguitar.com or a tab place on YouTube or something like that, you might struggle with playing if you don't know your chords. So what I'm recommending for a guitar beginner at level 2 is know your major chords. Okay? Know your minor chords, the minor versions of each one of those. So C minor, D minor, E minor, F minor, G minor, A minor, B minor, right? As a beginner at level 2. And then you have your 7 chords that you can do. And we most recently did a little power chord version. So you also want to know your power chords. The best thing about power chords is C major and C minor. The power chord's the same, right? D major, D minor, power chord's the same. So familiarize with all these things so that when you are playing your music, you know exactly where to go. Now, if you're new to this channel and you've made it this far, hey, Boomer Bass Meme, I just saw your message just now. I apologize if I didn't say anything. It says, I'm gonna go ahead and highlight it here. It says, morning, Joel. I am one of this intermediate at best and would have to think and do the math on some chords. I mostly remember shapes and move them around a bit. See, that's what I'm talking about. A lot of people are like you. They, I don't know if you're still here, but a lot of people are like you. They memorize shapes. That's completely fine. What I'm saying is familiarize yourself with the shapes or with the chord names. I don't know which one is better. I obviously feel that knowing the chord names is better, but that's only because that's the way I learned and that's the way I was taught by my director when I was learning, right? To know those things. But that doesn't necessarily mean it's got to hold you back. But I feel, okay, so what I was saying is, if you are doing the guitar routine, if you're following Truth Guitar Method, right, and you're following the routines, what you're doing, yeah, man, that's nice. Slept in. I wish I could have slept in. We got doggy daycare for our dogs, so that they don't make noise during my live session. So what I'm saying is, if you're doing the guitar routine, right, the guitar routine is here to provide maintenance and help before the actual playing of whatever you're doing. So for example, right now I'm working on a song, and man, this song is really good. I kind of don't want to say what it is because I don't want to shoot myself in the foot here, but I'm working on this song and I'm going to cover soon, and it's got tons of slides. So if I warm my slides in the routine, then by the time it's time to play my actual music, I'm already warmed up and ready to go. If I know my chords, then I know, okay, I'm going to do C, G, A, F, right? And that's basically what you're doing, is you're maintaining and preparing for your actual music practice. So basically what we did, and I'll run you through the banners if you just tuned in, or if you're watching this on the replay later, right? We did the left hand warm up. We did that for about 10 minutes. The right hand warm up for about 10 minutes. Then we did the sinking hand warm up for about 10 minutes. And then the scale practice took us a whole long time because we have major, minor, chromatic, and then we did all the pentatonic shapes. And now we're at chord practice. So if you're at home, you're practicing your chords. If you're a beginner, you're practicing your major chords and the minor version of it. D major, D minor, E major, E minor, okay, F major, F minor, G major, G minor, A major, A minor, B major, B minor. Learning your chords by name. And knowing your power chords: C, D, E, F, G, or up on the sixth string, F, G, A, B, C, D, E. And if you want to throw in your sharps and flats there, you can do that as well. But as a guitar beginner level 2, that's not what I'm recommending. Is I'm recommending you keep everything nice and neat. No sharps, no flats, no accidentals, just what it is. Now, once you've done that, if you are in your chord practice, the idea is to practice a technique called diminution. Diminution is basically taking one chord, or two chords basically, and when you're switching, that you monitor the time frame between the switching. And actually, you can find this. I'm going to go ahead and go back to my website here. And you can actually find a diminution exercise here, chord diminution. You can download that. It's free, totally free. You can read a little bit what it's about, but I'm going to go ahead and explain it if you're here, if you've made it this far. You basically take your first chord. In this case, we have the C major chord right here, right? And you take your first chord, and between this time frame right here, while you're switching to A minor, it says insert 4 beats, then 3 beats, then 2 beats, then 1 beat, and finally 0 beats in between the chord changes, which means that this gap right here, this gap between the C and the A minor will last for 4 beats. So you'll have C major, 1, 2, 3, 4, A minor, right? And then you practice to your next chord. In this case, it's D minor. Right here's D minor, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we have G major. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you diminish the time between the switch. So now we have 1, 2, 2, 2, and then A minor. 1, 2, D. That's 3 beats, and then 2 beats. And then 1 beat. and then no beats. Some teachers, and this isn't wrong, this is not wrong, this is not bashing them. I think that reducing the time frame is a little bit more successful because you're having to force yourself to count, and then you have the time to think and then make the switch, right? So having that time available in your mind to think is what's important. But some teachers say strum 4 times, then switch. The problem there is that you don't have the time to think in your mind, prepare your fingers, visualize where they're going, and then jump to it. That's the reason I kind of don't like that particular way, but it's not wrong. It's just you don't have that time frame. And with this version, the diminution, you give yourself the time to think, right? You strum 1 and then you have 4 seconds to think. Okay, where's my second finger going? Where's my third finger going? Attack. Where's my first finger going? Where's my second finger going? What's my third finger doing? What's my pinky doing? Attack. And then 3 seconds, and then 2, and then 1. But it's not wrong. It's just different. Okay. Boomer says, we'll check out your scale lessons for sure. I cannot solo too well and always looking forward to get better. Yeah, man. Definitely check them out. And if you ever have questions, you know where to reach me, man. And we can actually be more personable if you go to, let me show you here. If you go to Truth Guitar Method, I don't get anything from this, man. Absolutely nothing. I don't win anything. There's no ads and nothing. This website is basically there so that I can document everything that I'm doing for a book that I'm working on. If you want a more personable message, you can do here, or you can go to YouTube and go to my email and send me an email there. That has a nicer movement to it than that method. What is IMHO? I'm terrible with those, man. My wife is amazing. What is IMHO? I might have Oreos. Is that what that means? I don't know what that means. Boomer bass meme. Thanks, man. Thank you for showing up, by the way. I really appreciate it. I do this because I love doing it. I love teaching beginner guitar. I think it is, I have a passion for it. And yeah. So thank you so much for showing up. It's really, really, really is encouraging. So another thing you want to practice in the chords, and you can see it in the chord here in the, where is it? I closed it. If you look at the guitar routine, right, we're looking here, we have some progressions. These are basic progressions that beginners need to know. So for example, here it says 1, 6, 2, 5, 1. That's a basic progression, meaning that you're going to go from the first degree, which is C major, for example, to the 6th degree, which is A minor, to the 2nd degree, which is D minor, to the 5th degree, which is G major, which just happens to be this progression right here. That's a basic progression. Another one is 1, C, to G, to F, to G, back to 1. Another one is C, to F, to G, to 1. Basic progressions for beginners. Okay, so that's something that you want to do if you are a beginner. Okay, if you're a beginner, you're just starting out, I might have Oreos. I think, in my honest opinion, man, see, I'm telling you, I'm terrible at this. In my honest opinion, and then E-Star says, LOL, I might have Oreos. Isn't that, I think, I might have Oreos better. Boomer bass meme. I think I might like that a little bit better. Dang, now I want Oreos. I'll be right back, guys. I'm just kidding. All right. So once you're done there, guys, we are looking at, after you're done with your practice of the chords, right? Oh, by the way, let me say one more thing about chords. If you're practicing a song, whatever that song is, I always bring up songs like Nothing Else Matters and Sweet Child of Mine, because they're popular amongst the students that I've taught. They always want to do those for some reason. And I always recommend it because they're like classic 80s stuff, and they're kind of easy to play. Like if you're just following along with chords, is take all the chords that you have for that particular song, right? You take all the chords that you have. You look at your sheet, right? And I don't know if anybody does that anymore because everybody has iPads now. But you take that. Ooh, somebody's calling me. I don't have time to talk right now. And so you grab all the chords and then you put those chords into this part of your practice. And then you practice switching between the chords. And so then by the time you get to the music portion of your routine, you're all warmed up, man, and ready to go. So you've kind of paved the way to where you're going. Okay. So that's the chord practice. And then the new technique review. Okay. And we didn't do this today, but we are. And last week we talked about bending. Okay, so this is where bending goes in the new technique, new sight reading, is simple bending. And if you go to, again, I'm going to bring this up. If you go to free stuff, there is a lesson here, and it's got bending for beginners. Okay, and you can actually get an extended version of this. If you go to Patreon, you get an extended version of this exercise. When you're doing the bending here, right, we have 7, 9, 9. 9, 11, 11, 11, 13, 13, 13, 15, 15. So this exercise takes place here, 7, and then 9, 11, 11, 11, 13, 13, 13, 15, 15, 15, 17, 17, 17, 19, 19. If you watch the last video for simple bends, the one thing that is super important about simple bends is that it has ear training that you have to do. You got to prepare your ear to listen for that note, because that's the note we're going to bend to. That's the note. That's the note. That's the note. There's the note. So once your ear can hear it, then you can bend. So now we're going 7, 9, but we're bending 7. So if you go too short, that's out of tune. If you go too far, that's nasty. So right now what you're doing is you're not really fully bending instantly when you get there. Right? We're not. What you're doing is you're working on getting to it. Does it match? It does. Got it? Once you nailed it, right? So you want to ear train. So bending has a lot to do with ear training. Your ear has to be able to hear the note that you're supposed to be playing. Okay. So in full, you have. I think that's where it ends. Something I do want to bring up that I noticed while I was making that video is when I upload, and I got to go switch it, man. I have to make that switch. I promise it will switch. I'll switch it at some point today. But here, right here, where it says 17, 15, 17, this is actually 17, 19, 17. The note up here is correct, but for some reason, I left the 15 there. I don't know why. This is supposed to be 19, 17, 19. The note is correct. And the tab is incorrect. So if you're reading the tabs, that's incorrect. That is actually saying that's going to throw you off because it's not listening to the same thing. So I will change that at some point today. That way you guys get it correct. So here's where you would do your new technique and your sight reading. So if you're doing any sight reading, guys, again, if you go to the Truth Guitar website, there's a bunch of sight reading here. Sight reading 1, sight reading 1.2, sight reading 1.3. And I'm getting ready to upload sight reading 1.4, but that one's going to be on my Patreon page. So if you want more sight reading, consider supporting me on Patreon. I think it only takes $3 to be able to access the PDFs. That's $3 a month. Okay, that is cents per day. So here's where you would practice some sight reading, right? And the bottom you have the frets that you're using, 1, 3, and 2. Now, because this is level 1, I'm not putting the numbers up here because we're in the first position. So basically that F is using the first finger, the D is using the third finger, and the A is using the second finger. As you get a little bit more advanced into it, you'll see something more like here, where I recommend on top of the note which finger you should use. And this is not my notation. This is actually considered to be normal notation in guitar playing, right? The bottom is the fret. The little number on top of the note recommends which finger you should use, 1, 2, 3, or 4. So in this case, I'm recommending 1, 3, 3. Now on this one, it doesn't have any because if you watch the video, I said that there's 2 ways of doing it. You can go 1, 3, 3 or 1, 3, 1, depending on which one you decide. So I didn't put any numbers on top of that one. But as you get more advanced, you'll see the little numbers. So then you practice your sight reading. So in this case, practice excerpt number 1, for example, and you put your metronome at 100. So that we have F, D, A, rest, and then we have C, A, F, rest, and then we have C, G, A, rest, and then we have C, 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 B, G. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's it. And that's just to help you with sight reading. And then you do the second one and then the third one. And you do it multiple times, but don't memorize it. When sight reading, do not memorize it because then it defeats the purpose of actually sight reading. So that's the new technique. And if you can see for tomorrow's lesson, I think, or for Monday, one of the two, I don't remember which one it's scheduled for. When you look at the routine, here's what's coming up. Simple sweep arpeggios, right and then left. Right hand and then left hand. So we're going to talk about that in the next lesson. I think it's lesson number 7. Okay, so don't miss out. And finally, we have the last 2 is improvisation practice. For improvisation, you just pick a piece of music, anything that you want. If you are practicing your C major scale, then pick something in the C major or A minor that you can do so that you can practice. If you're practicing G major, then you can do G major pentatonic. Right? Whatever you're practicing, whatever scales you're practicing, that's probably what you want to stick to with improvisation. And places where you can find good improvisation backing tracks is you can find a few on my channel. I don't have very many, as my channel is only a couple months old, but there's like Elevation jam tracks, I believe. I can't think of them right now, but there's a couple that you can find on YouTube where you can just get the improvisation, play the track, and then you just play along. And this is something that you definitely want to spend a few minutes doing, okay? Now, I don't know if you noticed, but also in the new technique review that we were doing, that is where the time frame is the most encouraged to do. Right here it says 20 to 30 minutes, man. 20 to 30 minutes spending your time on new techniques. Now, I said that this live was going to go for about an hour. We're at 1 hour and 45 because I've been yapping way too much, and we're already at the end. But I very, very much highly recommend that you stick to following the recommended times here, okay? 5 minutes here, 5 minutes here, 5 minutes here, 10 minutes. If you are in a rush, then do the lesser of the time. And if you have the time, then do more or extra, right? And remember, for improvisation, guys, you want to listen to the track, identify the key, visualize the map on the fretboard. What scale are you using? And then consider a dialogue. And what that means is, if the notes were talking to each other, what would it sound like? For example, what complements this? Right? Whatever you're doing, or if the notes were talking to each other, how would they talk to each other? That's the dialogue. And then finally, picking new music. Guys, the only recommendation here is you can pick whatever you want, obviously. You're going to do whatever you want. But the recommendation here in the guitar routine, if we take a look, it says rules to follow is know the music well. Especially if you're doing tablature, know what the music sounds like before you play it. Because if you're just looking at tablature, you're going to get stuck. So know the music well in your mind. And then be realistic but optimistic. Okay. So, if you want something a little bit out of reach of what your ability is, that's fine. But be aware that you're going to have to play it a little bit slower, probably at first, and then work up to the speed, right? So be realistic but optimistic. For example, if today is your first week playing guitar, maybe we don't go and play, Welcome to the Jungle, right? Because that would be crazy. And then 3, it says strum along first to map up the structure. We already talked about that because you're going to map out your chords. And what you're doing is once you grab all your chords, you're going to put them up here in your chord practice. And then you're going to practice those chords before you actually play the music. So strum along first to map up the structure. In other words, as you're listening to it, right, strum to it. If it plays a G, just do one, and then listen for the next change, and then listen for the next change, and then the next one. Know your chord structure before you actually do the music. And then what you want to do, and this is identify the most difficult section and start here. Currently, I'm working on a piece, and I am not able to play it at that fast. And I'm having to really, really, really focus on that difficult section. And the beginning, first 3 minutes, amazing, super good. And then once you hit that 4th minute, it's hard, man. So I got to work on it at every level, guaranteed. Okay. I am not a virtuoso player, not even close, very, very far away from anything like that. So we got to work on it. Okay. We got to work hard. And then number 4, it says identify the most, we already did that. And then allow anywhere between 2 weeks to 6 months to be able to learn that piece. I am preaching to myself right now. I can tell you that right now, because the song that I've picked is really difficult. And I've been working on it for 2 weeks and it's not ready. So we're looking at more like months here. Okay. So be realistic and optimistic when you're picking new music. And new music in the guitar routine has no limit. Once you reach this portion, this is when you just flail about, man. If you do everything else here, warm up the left hand, warm up the right hand, syncing hands, you do your scales, you do your chords, you do your new technique and your sight reading, you improv for a little bit, then you have maintained your guitar playing, you have increased your playability, you have prepared your fingers well, you have prepared your mind well, then you just jam out, man. You just play your music. Practice your music. If you're going to perform, if you're a classical player, then you got to really practice and get ready to perform, right? Because you have those senior recitals, junior recitals, sophomore recitals. And if you're just jamming the jam, then you just jam, jibbity jam, right? And that's pretty much it. So we are done here, and I see that I have scared away all the people. So I believe there's 2 of you, and we have a Q&A portion. If you have a question, right now is the time to do it. It says, Boomer Base Meme, it says, not a bad idea, Oreos as a treat for practicing serious motivation right there. Yes. Thank you, Boomer, for sticking around. Thank you, E-Star, for sticking around as well. And we've had other visitors. So right now is the Q&A. I'm going to just kind of sit here and see if any questions pop up. It was fun, right? Thank you so much for hanging out with me, guys. If you have any questions, we have a few minutes. If you have any questions about the website or about the YouTube channel or about why I like Oreos, that is acceptable. All are acceptable questions. If you don't mind, I'm just going to jam out here for just a few minutes by myself. And since we're here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and turn off my screen. Actually, I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to share Digging the Jazz. Thank you, man, so much. I'm not really a jazz player, just know a few jazz chords. Jazz is a different monster. Jazz is a very different monster. What was I doing? Oh, yes, I was going to open up Bias Effects 2 to see how it sounds. And if you're here and you want to help me figure out if it sounds well, because I was going to use it right before we started, and then I realized I didn't have enough time, so I didn't use Bias Effects. But if you want to hang out and let me know if it's sounding good or if it sounds good, let me know. Let me close up all these windows here. There we go. Bias Effects is open. I'll go ahead and share what I'm doing. Ooh, I will not share what I'm doing, so I got to go ahead and enter my password. Don't want anybody seeing that, right? Can't have you stealing my password, guys. Can't have you stealing my passwords. Let's see here. That is my email. Again, if you have any questions, right now is the time to ask. What DAW do you use? I use Ableton Live. Ableton Live is what I use. And I'm pretty sure I have to have it on if I'm going to run Bias Effects. I'm pretty sure. I've never done it though. But I wanted to test it out. See here, I've got, not now. Bank number 2, tester. What? Okay. So now I can share my screen. Did it close? Why did it close? Did I accidentally? Oh man, I exited. Okay. So again, thank you for hanging out for the lesson. If you guys are still here, thank you so much. I'm gonna go ahead and test out some stuff here on, oh cool, I like it, but I have a hard time getting it to recognize my plugins. Same here, man. That's the exact problem that I have. That's why I don't use it. I have the exact same problem that you just mentioned. Let's see. What is going on? Why is Bias Effects not opening? It opened just a minute ago. Preparing to install? What? All right, we'll do this another time, I think. I think we are done for today, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for hanging out. Let's go ahead and go back to our stuff. If you have no questions, we are done, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out. Phew, it's not just me. Yeah, man. I don't know why. I have no idea why it does that. Please wait while Windows configures Bias Effects 2 plugins pack. Why is it doing that? I'll figure it out later. But yeah, I have trouble getting it to recognize my plugins sometimes. At least when I've been live. So yeah, that's an issue. All right, guys. Thank you so much for showing up. Let me go ahead and switch my camera here. Get a better view, right, of my hilarious face. There I am. Am I there? Yes, I'm there. Guys, thank you so much for hanging out. I will see you guys on the next one. I believe there will be another live session next Saturday, and we are going to be covering beginner sweep picking exercises. So if you're interested in sweep picking and learning what that is, make sure you come by. We are going to do it at a very elementary beginner level. So if you've never done it before, definitely come by, watch the video this week and practice it, and then get ready to do it on Saturday. Thank you so much. If you've made it this far, my biggest gratitude goes out to you. And if you like what you saw, hit a like, hit the bell, and subscribe. See you guys.